What's up, everybody? Time for a FTC and NPC video, a rare fighting game video game video. While I'm traveling, we're gonna talk about Street Fighter 6 today and Ryu's hop kick. Why do I want to talk about Ryu's hop kick? Because, well, you know, first of all, sometimes you're bored on the train, and so I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched Street Fighter 6 in a while, so while in Japan and traveling, I've watched some Street Fighter 6 or whatever. And what the game is, well, God, I don't even remember. When did I first predict the game? It was like a year before I predicted the game. So, and the game has now been out for like a year and a half or something. So, first of all, the game is still exactly like the fucking I said it was going to be. Whenever I watched the game still plays exactly like I fucking said it would. Wasn't it just? I think the last time I watched like random matches of Street Fighter 6 was so many months ago, right? And, you know, people are like, oh, supers are versatile. Oh, they're so versatile, blah, blah, blah. People do use this. And I'm watching the matches. And once again, dude, supers are almost always combo fodder. Almost always. Still. I waited another few months. I gave you guys another fucking few months. No. Generally speaking, supers are combo fodder. More often than not. Right? Yeah, there's the rare one. Yeah, I saw Blanca install super. And I once saw super used as a reversal. But you know what? Even the situation when I saw it used as a fucking reversal, dude, it was just because if he used the EX move, he would have went and burn out. Which I said from the very beginning, when you think about fucking fighting games on a grand like scale, grand perspective of fighting games, that is the only interesting thing truly about Street Fighter 6 is the meter management, the top and bottom. That thing is interesting. Everything else, not that interesting, right? You're about to ruin my YouTube video. Wait a second, I'll pause it. Okay, are we back? That was interesting. I totally just ran into this girl that kind of picked me up at 7-Eleven, actually. We just sat down here and we're talking for a while. What am I talking about? Ryu's hop kick. I was saying something like fucking Street Fighter 6 game turned out exactly how I said with all these supers. You know, I said the only thing that was interesting about the game, and I said it right from the beginning, is going to be this meter management, the top and the bottom. So seeing something like the fucking, you know, oh, I don't want to go into burnout, so I'll actually use my super. That's a sort of interesting perspective on games. But I wanted to talk about, and this is another example that it shows just how bad it is to make basically 99% of the moves hit you ducking. You know what I mean, in the game. And I thought, what about Ryu's hop kick, right? And I say that because I was watching all these matches of Street Fighter 6 again. And I saw Ryu's hop kick. And I'm like, oh, holy shit, I forgot that Ryu has a fucking hop kick in this game. And isn't Ryu's fucking hop kick such a perfect example of, although I've said Street Fighter 6 is competently designed, maybe more so than Strive in some ways. The game is just, the idea of the game being played is dreadful, and it's just so homogenized and boring, all the norms, but Ryu's hop kick is such a great example that actually shows why the game is badly designed, right? So first of all, you think, what is like Ryu's hop kick, right? It's a forward moving poke that crushes lows, goes over lows, and one of the great things about it when you think about it is it hits you ducking, right? If you think about Street Fighter from a traditional aspect, right? If you think about Street Fighter from a traditional aspect, Shotos didn't have moves that they could harass you with while walking forward. It wasn't until Super Turbo, when Ken got his stand roundhouse, that could hit a character ducking. He could use that as a poke, right? But traditionally, Shoto characters did not harass you and poke you in the same way with their moveset, right? Then you get to a game like Alpha. Ryu's style is slightly augmented. You know what I mean? A little bit of a different take on it, right? You know, you took away normals. Yeah, I guess you could poke with his stand medium kick, which I've done a whole video about that move because it's actually, you know, watch the series of videos on that move because it's actually interesting in fighting games as a whole. But you think Ryu's hop kick, you know what I mean? It actually hits you ducking. Ryu has a poke now that he can move forward with that you cannot duck. That crushes your lows, right? Now, if we get to a game as far as fucking Street Fighter 6 is what we're talking about, well, guess what? First of all, a move moving forward isn't that interesting because Street Fighter 6, how many fucking normal fucking moves move you forward in the game? It's fucking weird. It makes poking and everything feel in the game kind of weird, right? It's like, why does every normal move me fucking forward? Every normal, quotation marks, right? It makes it feel strange. Now all my moves, again, quotation marks, all my moves, all my normals hit you ducking. Even if they don't touch you, right? Oh, I'm stand jabbing. Oh, I'm stand fiercing. I'm not even aimed at you and I'm hitting you ducking, right? So you're like, well, fuck. My hop kick is a move that moves me forward. You know what I mean? It also hits you ducking, but now I have all these other moves that move me forward. And let's not forget, if you look at fucking Ryu's hop kick in Street Fighter 6, you know what I mean? It doesn't even move that forward compared to other things. Compared to other games, what is Ryu's hop kick? It moves like twice the amount of distance. You're telling me in a game where now our normals actually move us forward, some kind of quasi Dragon Ball Fighter Z, well, before Season 3 where they made normals move fucking half screen. You know what I mean? So I have all these normals that move me forward. Now my hop kick actually moves me less forward than it does in other games. And I already have all these normals that hit you ducking. I guess it can go over lows, but look at the risk reward. Like, what a badly thought out thing. Like, so I guess that's actually, I was just thinking about that because I had seen Ryu's hop kick. I'm like, whoa, I forgot that move is so barely used in this game. In a game where moves are so fucking specifically designed to have specific purposes, you now have a move that was unique for Ryu. Of course, there's been, like, say, a fucking Guile Sabat kick, you know what I mean? Whatever in Street Fighter 2. But if we're thinking about, you know, Shoto's, you know, comparatively, you know, we might say something, actually. You could say from a certain perspective that, you know, if we were to compare Ryu and Ken, you know, Ken has the stand roundhouse that he can poke with, you know, that hits you ducking. Maybe Ryu has hop kick or something like that. You know, if we're being a little bit loose. You know, I guess technically you could say that, you know, Ryu's Rush Fierce can hit you ducking too, but, you know, that's kind of, we're being very lax with our, you know, definition of being able to poke with an attack at that point. But anyway, I just thought that was pretty interesting because it shows that even a game that is that pre-planned as fucking Street Fighter 6, it made these other moves that had these fucking unique purposes. Now they fucking suck. Now they're less unique because everything, and it goes back to what I'm saying all the time about everything becoming a different shade of gray makes things less special. Do you know what I mean? So I was just thinking about that. Anyway, that was God, that's crazy. That girl picked me up at 7-Eleven so many days ago, and she's just walking down here, and we just sat down and talked a little bit ago. Her English is actually really good too, so we can actually have a conversation. We can use a little bit of broken Japanese, and her English is good too. So anyway, remember if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.